What if I told you that you only need one city, one social platform, and a few strategic touch points to build your empire without going viral, right? And without chasing playlists and without leaving your home base. Now, most artists are trying to go everywhere at once from nothing. Every social app, every city, every fan type, every content format. But the thing is, when you try to reach everybody, like, you're connecting with no one, and that's why your music isn't building momentum, because it's scattered, it's not focused. But what if there was a niche strategy, like a laser focused blueprint of some sort, that could help indie artists quietly dominate and build six-figure ecosystems with just a fraction of the audience? Well, I came to this conclusion, and today I'm going to show you what I call the small market power play, a strategy that I built around one social platform, one city, 3 access points, and 2 key fan segments. And it's simple, it's scalable, and importantly, it's sustainable, right? We need sustainability. So I developed this because I heard, and I consulted with a lot of you guys, when you're getting overwhelmed with building a sustainable career for yourselves by going too big, too fast. By the way, a 300-mile radius can be too big, too fast as well. I'm just saying. But this framework will allow you to rebuild your core fan base from the ground up and even sell out a 100-seater venue, even though you may only have 1,200 followers. Right? And you're going to need a little bit more than that, but I'm just saying. One social platform plus one city will equal a compound leverage. And here's what I mean. If you stop chasing the algorithm and you focus on one platform where your content performs best, whether that be YouTube, IG, or TikTok, and pair it with one physical location where your core fans or collaborators live, then that geo focus makes your data more predictable and your dollars stretch a little bit further and your word of mouth moves a lot faster. Local fans will amplify you in real life, and digital fans will make you a lot more scalable. So if you marry both in one city, then this is your base of operations. And this is why I said earlier in this framework that this will allow you to rebuild your core fan base from the ground up. This strengthens the base, and then it builds a fan army up. And now you can begin to actually command all these people that became part of your fan army physically and digitally, because you can show up in both places and not be overwhelmed by it before you have a team to actually help. So fans will know where to expect you, and then where you base creates what's called customer behavior. So they know, okay, you're going to be here. So now that builds behavior. So they know that, okay, this is the platform. This is when they begin to show up. This is who they start to associate with. This is where I can find them in the city, right? Now the behavior kicks in and we're good. We're getting used to what we can expect from you, and you build from that. Now, the next point is called access points. I want you to create or find 3 access points, and this will create omnipresence for you. And people like to call access points touch points. I don't like the word touch points, but I call them access points because we're trying to access the marketplace. Now, most artists will rely on just one way to be discovered, and usually that will be streaming. But with this particular play I'm putting together for you, you will insert 3 access points of contact between your music and your fans. And this will be done using congregations, check this out, of pre-built audiences that contain your fans already. That is what an access point is. It is a pre-built audience that contains the people who you're already speaking to, or that looks just like your audience. Now, this will be done digitally on your selected social platform with local key influencers, and this will also be done physically at performance venues with, promoters, DJs, and tastemakers and the likes thereof who promote to your audience already. You can also acquire these access points with the media and local brands and businesses as well, so don't rule those people out either. But it's important to note that fans don't become loyal because of where they find you. They become loyal because you show up everywhere they look, inside of their own world. And this is the process of building trust and credibility. If you get into the inside of their world of the market, which is the platform in the city, then we're winning. You know what I mean? So now we got to come down to our 2 fan segments, what I like to call the 2 profit paths. Okay. Now, you don't need a massive audience. You just need 2 specific fan types that you're going to target with this method. Okay. This ain't going to work for every method, but it's going to work for this one. Okay. Now, we need the fan, obviously. So whatever we build, we got to market for that fan, and they will buy the merch. They will pay for the premium access, and they will bring their friends. Now, the second person, or the second target market, is the supporter. They might not show up to every event that you got going on, but they will stream and they will share consistently. Plus, they will buy from time to time. And these supporters or patrons are always out in the streets looking for the next best thing. So if you target those who are active outside, that's the key, on social media consistently, then this whole thing begins to take shape. Each segment has its own offer and profit path. And let me break those down. Now, fans, they're going to need exclusive physical or personalized offers with acknowledgement. That's the key with the fans. They need acknowledgement. But supporters on the other end, they need easy digital wins like playlists like that are curated by you or just what your music or whatever, and they're going to find you on playlists, shout outs, and access to more in-depth information and phenomenal first experiences. That's the key for the supporter. They want that first experience to be phenomenal because that's probably all they're going to get from you because they're I medium like you a little bit. That's kind of where they are. But if I like you enough on the first try, then I'm probably going to tell somebody else about you. All right. Now, so when you structure this right, one fan segment funds your art and the other expands your reach. See what I'm saying? Now, fans will push you to create better experiences and products, and supporters will push for the same thing, but they will be the driving force that pushes you forward. Supporters will do the bulk of your word of mouth marketing because new discoverers talk the most, and fans will require a bit more for their driving force. Either way, if you build your music and products and experiences for these people and distribute it to them, then the casual listeners or bandwagon riders will fall into place. Now, events and shows will be a top priority. And secondly, digital meetups will be a main source of engagement. So you want to plan around those things with some type of activity. And this way you get engagement with people who want to do more than just hear about your music. This can be done physically as well, okay? So just is what it is. Now, if you keep trying to be everywhere at once, you'll stay invisible, and to be real, you're only doing this because you want to appear bigger than you are right now in this moment, but you're really crushing your resources to succeed because they aren't being used effectively. You're stretched too thin and you spend more money than you produce, and you're probably feeling the burnout before your music ever breaks out. But if you pick your lane, you focus your fire, and you build where it counts, you can dominate without being famous. Believe me, everybody does what you're doing at least once, but don't run big and slow, run lean and mean. And I'm only saying this because there's so much information out there, people telling you to do this, do that, and do this and the third, and you're doing it, but your money just got sent all over the place. We gotta shrink that window down. You ain't that big and you ain't got that much money. I'm just calling a spade a spade. It is what it is. So if you run lean and mean, then we can begin to win. All right. Moving in this way will allow you to keep up with the streaming 2.0 movement because your resources will be organized to take on the new endeavors that emerge in this movement. Plus, when you're ready to expand, all you have to do is repeat the same strategy in your neighboring city, and then your marketing becomes efficient instead of exhausting, and shows sell out faster because your base is centralized. That was the whole point of this video. Centralize everything you're doing. Your sales will then go up because your offers match your fans, and your brand becomes a movement in your niche. Like, you're not trying to be, we used to say it earlier, I used to say it a while back when Jay-Z and Beyonce were reigning supreme, but you're not trying to be Jay-Z and Beyonce tomorrow, man. Like, deal with these people with the money that you can invest and the fan base that you have on that level. They will appreciate it. And people know that you ain't Jay-Z or Beyonce. You ain't got to try. So, sure, you can keep hoping that what you're doing will work out even though it's not right now. Or you can follow a system that simplifies and optimizes what you're doing already. And the real question is, shouldn't you do this? Is how much longer can you afford not to before you waste all your money and before you need a better job that's going to afford all of this stuff? Because I want you to close the scope of your physical footprint and digital platform exposure, and then open up those access points and improve your product offerings to your fan base. If you need help with this, you can join me every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Music Money Makers community. It's always beneath the video. The link is always there. Click on it. But it's not about the people. I just want to say that the available niche or your resources or the access points. It's about, get this, getting over yourself, your anxieties, and your excuses about why you don't want to go after your dreams. In your market, depending on your niche, the pool of people may not always be big. But does this mean you neglect them? No, it doesn't. So where there's a will, there's a way. So I want you to find it, because it's on you to be crafty enough in your pitch to find people who are willing to post, promote, or collaborate with you, even when your music is not the main thing that they do, and even when you're not big. This strategy is doable. The question is, are you in your own way, or are you still stuck on the industry chatter? Or are you willing to try something that will change your career trajectory? See what I'm saying? Like, get out of that headspace of this over information that's just out of there. So you can keep doing it the old way, or you can get a grip and reassess where you're losing energy and resources. Try this, just implement this strategy, try it out. And if anything, you will strengthen your fan base if you just try. That's all I'm saying, man. Just rework some wires in there. But if you were having some issues with building a fan base from nothing, without going viral, without chasing playlists, and without leaving your home base, you now have a means to become the self-paid artist you always wanted to be. Music Money Makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, jump into the 60-day record label course, jump into the Music Money Makers community, and I'll see you every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Grab the free stuff, like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.